don't nobody know where she's at. No. She takes off running with the kids, so I don't know. She moves, don't tell nobody no address, no nothing. So I don't know. So one question for you: if this person decides to run out, block me again, and all that, what do I do?
Mr. Malvo, Mr.
What
Malvo, I'm not
What do I
talking
do?
about. If something happened like that, then I assume something's happened to her. She's been kidnapped. Call the police.
He hasn't contacted me whatsoever, so I just figured if we just take it one day at a time.
It's gonna be hard for him to contact you if he don't know where you live.
I mean, his mom has my phone number.
But his mom didn't have these children.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. God damn, somebody see what I'm talking about. There's no way you can get an insurance card when you're running with children. You get what I'm saying? Blocking the dad's phone number, all that. So how do you want insurance? But you're steady blocking these kids' dad. But before all that go forward, I need a DNA test on all 3 kids. That's number one.
We're hearing a motion to set support. The prior order did not have support set because the parties were living together. Additionally, the prior order did not set any visitation or conservatorship, but we did not put that in our pleadings. The parties, we talked to them about those terms, but they did not have an agreement. So I would like this hearing just to focus on the motion to set support, since that is all what is properly before the court. And there's not an agreement on the support calculated either.
All right.
State calls the mother, Ms. Hawkins. Will you state your name?
Tiara Hawkins.
Okay. And will you state the names of the children?
Harmony Malvo, Jeremiah Malvo Jr., and Kamaria Malvo.
How old are they?
6, soon to be 5, so he's 4 right now, and 3.
Hold on one second. Mr. Malvo, you're in court. You can't sit and drink and do all those other things. You understand? Put the bottle down. Thank you. All right, let's go forward.
And Ms. Hawkins, all 3 children are living with you?
Yes, ma'am.
And you, the children, and Mr. Malvo are no longer living in the same residence. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And what kind of health insurance do the children currently have?
They're currently on his insurance, but they get Medicaid as well.
Okay. And how come you have them on Medicaid if he has the private insurance?
So I just was told that he added them on his insurance this year. So they've been on Medicaid ever since they were born, but I just recently got their cards from him through his employer.
Okay. And recently, as in when?
I want to say about a month ago, I got them in the mail.
Okay. And so before that, did you know he had private insurance?
I did not.
Okay.
Except he worked at his last job. That's when I knew, but he doesn't work there anymore.
Okay. And so in the order, we have to decide who will carry the insurance. Are you wanting it to state that Mr. Malvo will carry it through his employer, or do you want it to state that you'll carry the kids on Medicaid?
I carry them on Medicaid.
Okay. And let's see, and do you know if he has any other children?
He has 1.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Okay, so if the order states that you'll carry Medicaid and Mr. Malvo pays medical support, we've calculated medical support at $185 per month. And then we've calculated child support at $594 per month. Is that what you're requesting today?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you understand that because there's no request to address conservatorship or visitation, the court can't address those issues today?
Right.
Okay. Has there been any family violence in the last 2 years between you and Mr. Malvo?
Sometime last year, earlier on in the year, my windows were busted in my apartment.
Okay, and were you there when that happened?
I was. Me and my kids were.
And you saw that it was Mr. Malvo?
Correct.
And was he arrested for that?
No, I called the police later on that night, but they showed up the next morning, so no, he was not arrested.
Do you have any safety concerns if he has your address or your phone number?
No.
Okay, and so let's say you were to move tomorrow to a new address and he didn't have it, you'd have to give it to him. Are you comfortable with that?
I am.
Okay, I will pass the witness.
All right.
The state calls the father, Mr. Malvo, will you state your name, please?
Jeremiah Malvo.
And Mr. Malvo, are you currently employed?
Yes, ma'am.
And do you have health insurance for the children through your employer?
Yeah.
And does it cost you $300 per month to cover 4 kids?
Yes, ma'am.
So that's about $225 for the 3 children in this case, if we think about it that way. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you given copies of the cards to Miss Hawkins?
No.
And has your employer given her copies of the cards?
No. Don't nobody know where she's at. No.
Okay, so how is she expected to use the private insurance if she doesn't have the insurance cards or the information?
I don't know. She takes off running with the kids, so I don't know. She moves, don't tell nobody no address or nothing. So I don't know.
Okay. And in the court order, will you have to pick who's going to carry the insurance? Are you wanting to carry the insurance through your work, or do you want the order to state that Ms. Hawkins will carry Medicaid?
I carry them, but they already on there. So I mean,
Okay. And you have 1 other child, is that correct?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And so if you carry the health insurance and we give you credit for that, and for your 1 other child, I've calculated child support at $583 per month. Are you in agreement with that amount, or do you disagree?
Yes, ma'am. That's fine. But before I let go forward, I need a DNA test on all 3 kids. That's number 1. Then number
Mr.
2,
Malvo, do you understand that's not a request before the court today, and so the court can't consider that?
I mean, I told the lady before that was talking to me about that. So she said she was going to shoot that over to you guys.
Okay. And we previously had a court order that says has established parentage between you and all 3 children. Do you understand that?
No, I don't understand that. What are you trying to say?
The court order from 2020 in September says that the parent-child relationship is established between you and the 3 children. And so you have a duty to support them, and that there's nothing in the court's file requesting for DNA testing for you today.
That's because it wasn't at that time. That time we were
Okay,
standing
objection
there.
non-responsive.
Sustain.
Mr. Malvo, do you have any safety concerns with your address or your phone number being in this court order?
Nope.
Okay. Has there been any family violence in the last 2 years between you and the mother?
Nope.
Was there an incident last year or earlier this year where you busted out the windows of her apartment?
No, because if it was, where's the police report? Where's it at?
I'll pass the witness.
Okay. You're gonna call Mr. Malvo? Or you just talk with Mr. Malvo? Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes.
Mr. Malvo, let me make sure I understand. You realize that are you carrying the insurance on the children?
I'm carrying all 4 of them.
Okay. And you realize that you need to give Ms. Hawkins some information as to how she can exercise that. In other words, when one of the children gets sick or she needs to take them to the doctor, that she'll be able to utilize that insurance. You understand?
I understand that.
Now, let me make sure you continue to understand. Because if I order that you pay the cash medical of $185 per month, then she's going to be able to carry them based on the fact that she has Medicaid. You understand that?
I understand that. Can I ask you something?
You sure can.
So can you get her to understand that there's no way you can get an insurance card when you're running with children? You get what I'm saying? Blocking the dad's phone number, all that. So how do you want insurance but you're steady blocking these kids' dad?
I understand what you're saying, Mr. Malvo.
Yeah, so shoot that over there, and maybe it'd be a better understanding. You get what I'm saying?
I didn't request your insurance. I asked that it be through the Medicaid, meaning it stays with me. I didn't request your insurance whatsoever. So that's why I kept it at that. But I do have the insurance cards that the child support group did send me from Mr. Malvo, from his employer. I have all.
Excellent, excellent. Because what it boils down to is this, Ms. Hawkins. The family code specifically states that Mr. Malvo has the duty to carry the children on medical.
Right.
Okay, if he has that capability, which he does because he's employed and his employer has insurance. So I'm not going to order him to pay that $185 per month for cash medical because you're going to have to interact with him in some way to make sure that you have the current insurance cards. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
All right. I am going to order that he pay child support in the amount of $583 a month beginning on January 1st, 2024.
That's
It's unfortunate that you guys were not able to continue to live together, but things happen. Either one of you have any questions for me?
I got two questions.
Yes, sir.
So, if I'm ordered to pay this amount of money, how do I get the DNA test going? Because I'm not
Okay,
misunderstanding.
I'm glad you raised that question because I meant to answer that for you. The last court hearing that y'all had when they said that the two of you were living together and that they didn't set any custody or any of the other provisions, visitation or any of that stuff. They are at that same time, they found you to be the father of those three children, Mr. Malvo. And
How
so
can you do that
are,
with no DNA test though?
wait, let me finish.
Go ahead.
If you were going to ask for it, was your opportunity to ask for a DNA test. It's too late now. You're their father, and you're going to pay child support for them until they're 18 years of age, sir.
So
Even if you get a DNA test and find out that they're not yours, you're still going to have to pay child support. You understand that?
We bought a DNA test like a couple of years ago. I
Ma'am, I don't care. I don't care about the DNA. I'm telling you, and I'm telling him, he's already been judicially found to be the father of the children. He is going to have to pay child support. Okay.
Gotcha. And I got one more question before you get off this. With this visitation thing, how this gonna go? Because I requested before we got in this little car that I, get my kids that I pay child support for every other weekend from Friday 6 p.m. to Sunday 6 p.m. But the lady came back on the phone and said that she said she didn't want that and only wanted me to get them a couple hours out the day. What?
How old are these children again, Miss Hawkins?
6, 4, soon to be 5, and a 3-year-old.
Okay, sounds like all three of them are big enough to go with their father. Is there some reason why they should not go with their father on the first, third, and fifth weekends?
She gave me options, and those are one of the options that I chose. He hasn't contacted me whatsoever, so I just figured if we just take it one day at a time.
It's gonna be hard for him to contact you if he don't know where you live.
I mean, his mom has my phone number.
But his mom didn't have these children.
Thank you, Mr. Collins. God damn, somebody see what I'm talking about.
Mr. Malvo, I don't want you cursing, and I told you cannot be drinking in court. Do you not understand that?
You're right. I apologize. That's my fault.
All right. Now, Miss Hawkins, you chose to have children with Mr. Malvo. And as a result of you having children with Mr. Malvo has certain rights, just like you have certain rights. You have rights to do things. He doesn't have the right to interfere in your life. You don't have the right to interfere in his. But he does have the right to visit with his children.
He doesn't call to visit with his children.
Ma'am, we're establishing it now. I'm establishing it now that he's going to have standard visitation with the children, meaning that he'll have the right to visit with them on the 1st, 3rd, and 5th weekends of each month from 6 o'clock on Friday until 6 o'clock on Sunday. He'll get one half of the Christmas and Thanksgiving holidays with the children. Y'all alternate spring break. He'll get one spring break. You'll get the next. You understand?
That's fine.
Okay. Miss Nutt is going to put that in order so that y'all can see it. I'm
Judge,
also going to find y'all to be joint managing conservators. I don't know if they put that in there or not. Okay.
And one more question. Where's this meetup location at to get my kids? Because I have no information on her whatsoever. No address, no nothing.
Miss Hawkins, is there a place where you would like to for him to pick up and drop off the children?
There's not. I can come up with something.
No, we got to come up with it now.
I'm not.
Do you want him to pick him up and drop him off at the police station if you think he might be a danger?
We can do somewhere that's in the middle, a police station that's in the middle. That'll be fine.
What police station is that?
We can go to the Mesquite one.
You live in Mesquite?
I'm close to it, yes.
Okay. Yeah, are you closer to the Garland or the Mesquite?
The Mesquite one.
All right. Miss Nutt, y'all have that address to the Mesquite police station, right?
I just Googled it and we're showing it's on Galloway Avenue. I don't know
Okay.
if Miss Hawkins, if you know if that's the one you're thinking of.
That's the only one they have in Mesquite.
Okay.
Okay. So the pickups and drop-offs will be at the Mesquite police station. Now, let me make sure both of you are clear on this. Miss Hawkins, you have to have the children there by 6 o'clock each first, third, and fifth Friday. You understand?
Yes, sir, I
And
understand.
if you're not, if there's some reason why you can't get there, you need to call Mr. Malvo and let him know. So I don't want him driving over there if the children are not going to be there. You understand?
Understandable.
Okay. You understand that also, Mr. Malvo, if something comes up and you're not going to pick them up, that you need to call Miss Hawkins and tell her that you're not going to be able to pick them up this weekend for whatever reason. You understand that?
That's cool. So one question for you: if this person decides to run out, block me again, and all that, what do I do?
Mr. Malvo, Mr. Malvo,
What
I'm not
What do I
talking
do?
about. If something happened like that, then I assume something's happened to her. She's been kidnapped. Call the police.
Hey, y'all a joke. All right.
All right. Now, either one of you have any reasonable questions for me? All right. Ms. Nutt is going to email both of you a copy of this order. And if you don't have any additional questions, you both can press leave and you're free to go. Thank you both. I appreciate your time.